Welcome everybody to our membership Launchpad. Thank you to those of you who were able to attend our mixer yesterday. It was really great to have you in the room, and I hope you were able to connect with local businesses as well as our banks and credit unions for Community Banking Month. So I appreciate your patience as we basically change this format to online for the time being. We normally have the Member 101 sessions in person, but this is going to be just a recorded version, and I'm available for any additional questions. Also, if you want to jump on a phone call, I would be more than happy to schedule that out as well. So just to introduce myself on the line, my name is Kendall Jones. I'm the Community Outreach Manager for Local First Arizona. And that is my email address, kendall@localfirstaz.com. You can feel free to give me a call or an email. One of the main points of my job is to help connect you and other local businesses together. That's the best way that we're going to be able to make this movement succeed throughout time, as well as build a strong and vibrant economy. So thank you so much for being a part of this. So to get started, I thought we would go back to the beginning, and I could introduce to you our founder, Kimber Lanning, who started the organization back in 2003. She is a small business owner herself. She started a record store called Steepleaf back in 1988 and has been running that store for over 30 years now. So understanding the lens of what you as local businesses are going through, it's really important to us to keep that lens in mind as we think about ways to connect you, ways to support you, and how we can advocate on behalf of each and every one of you. So she's had a record store and actually started that when she was 19 years old, and has really been a part of the arts community for a number of years now. And in the late 90s, actually opened up a space called Modified Arts, which was a gallery and music venue in the late 90s, which also serves as our local first offices now. So the reason why she started Modified Arts was really because from her record store, seeing these bright, young, talented people growing up, talking about music, exploring wonderful musical artists, being musicians themselves, inevitably, one day, these young, bright, talented people would come to her and they would say, guess what? I'm leaving. I'm leaving for the LAs of the world, or the Chicagos, or the New Yorks, or wherever. And it really broke her heart. She didn't understand, why is it that these wonderful people don't feel as connected to this place as I do? And she realized that there really wasn't a whole lot of opportunities that were coming up for these people, and so they were leaving our state to go and find that elsewhere. And so that was part of the reason that she started Modified Arts, was to really enable young, bright, talented musicians, artists, all kinds, to be able to showcase and cut their teeth right here at home without feeling like they had to go elsewhere to do that. And so when she opened up Modified Arts here on Roosevelt, it looked like a very different area. There was a lot of blight. There was a lot of high crime. And there was essentially the only other competitors on the block were a hubcap shop and a liquor store. So she realized the vision. And one day, two other artists came to her and asked if she would mind if they opened up art galleries near hers as well, thinking, oh, she's not going to like it. She's going to think that we're just trying to compete and put her out of business. But that's not what she thought at all. Instead, she wrapped her arms around them and said, oh my gosh, I would love to have a collaborative community here. And so they really worked together and realized that there is a power that comes when you have more people around you and involved in the same movement as you. And so they realized after the cafe opened up across the street, well, we've got a couple of gallery spaces and now we've got wine. I wonder if we could all collaborate together and make something of an arts district, something that would attract people to come down here to explore this area that we're trying to build. And so they created what is now known as First Fridays. And in the beginning, they wrote out, a couple of hundred handwritten invitations inviting the community to come out, opening their doors, staying open late, and really being welcoming. And so the first few hundred people then told their friends, another few hundred people started to come, and pretty soon it snowballed and has become this incredible night called First Friday, and it is now the largest art walk in the nation. And I don't tell you this because I think that it's really incredible what Denver did. I tell you this because imagine if, rather than working together, each one of those locations, the art galleries and the cafe across the street, decided to do their own thing. They decided to go with that model of, well, this person's trying to compete with me, so I'm going to go and do my own thing. She's got, Kimber's got First Friday, so I'm going to do Second Tuesday. And, the other art gallery is like, well, if you're going to be Second Tuesday and Tuesday on First Friday, I'm going to do Third Wednesday. And the cafe across the street is like, I don't even want to do any of those days. I'm just going to be closed. Instead, they banded together and they realized that there is a collective power. And by doing that, by working together, they create a community. And that's exactly what we foster here and what we like to support is collaborative communities, especially with our local businesses, because it is through our local businesses that we create that sense of place. And it is because of you that we have an enormous amount of job growth as well as economic development. And so, with that, Kimber realized in the early 2000s that we need to create a larger voice, because not only were the young, bright, talented people leaving of the world, they were also seeing a lot of our dollars leaving as well. So we work with this model, this economic model, that has been proven time and time again to not work whatsoever. So this model is an attraction model, and you might be familiar with it. Essentially, there's this way that we want to build job growth and build economic development. And so our municipalities in our state look around and they say, ooh, let's attract other businesses to come out here. And in order to attract them to come out here and to build locations, we need to give them money. And so we give millions of dollars in tax subsidies to attract non-local businesses to come out here to maybe put one, maybe two locations, maybe three, I don't know, maybe four, even five. But what we find is that both economic development and job growth do not increase whatsoever. The biggest example of this is with Cabela's. Now, you might know them as an outdoor equipment outfitter, stores across the nation, Cabela's, right? You can go get your kayak, you can go and get your snowshoes, whatever you need. But when you start to really dig behind their motive for opening new locations, you see that there's something that also comes with their new locations, and that's in the form of tax subsidies. On average, each Cabela's location that opens up across the nation gets about $35 million in tax subsidies. When they opened up out in Glendale, they got $68 million in tax subsidies. They got free land, they got free infrastructure, and they didn't have to pay taxes for 10 years. And as a local business owner, I hope that you realize that those tax subsidies don't seem to find their way into your pockets, do they? This is not a way to job growth, especially when Cabela's is cherry-picking their managers and high-level positions from across the nation, rather than increasing that job growth here and offering those jobs to local residents. And when you have tax dollars that are leaving our state, rather than recirculating to pay for schools, to pay for libraries, they fund our firefighters, our police departments. Those tax dollars are gone. They've left. They're going to other communities. How is that true economic development? And so in 2003, armed with this new knowledge, she decided to create a voice for local businesses because she knew based on that knowledge, that local businesses actually retain 4 times more dollars and actually create more jobs because they're supporting more jobs through their businesses. And so she decided we're going to create a voice, and she called up a few institutions, Changing Hands Bookstore, as well as Monty's, for those of you who remember Monty's, on Mill Avenue. And she said, do you realize that our jobs, our money, and our people are leaving the state? And they said, oh my gosh, no, we need to do something about it. And so they created a coalition, a new voice for local businesses. And so we are all about really increasing the economic power of our local businesses, but also the knowledge of what the power is with our local businesses. And so if there's one thing that I want you to take away from this presentation, it's that money does not spend the same. Because for every $100 spent at a local business like yours, 45 of that recirculates and stays right here in Arizona. Whereas that same $100 spent in any national chain, only about $13 stays right here at home. And so we are all about collaboration, and we are all about economic development, job growth, and empowering our citizens to vote with their dollars by spending them with you as local businesses. So when I talk about job growth, I'm sure that you all realize that as local businesses, you actually support more jobs than the big guys. And you support really good jobs. You're not just a job creator for your own businesses, but you're a job creator on what's called secondary and tertiary job levels as well. So the way that we kind of put this in perspective is thinking about 15 Starbucks locations versus 15 local coffee shops. Now, when you have 15 Starbucks locations, in Starbucks, you pick on them because they're actually a pretty reputable business and they can take it, you see that all of their logos are the same. They have not gone out and hired a unique graphic designer or marketing firm to help them really hone in on who they are, what their branding is, how they can set themselves apart. It's already done for them, and it was done by somebody years ago, and all they have to do is just take the same logo and slap it onto everything. However, our unique coffee shops on the right-hand side, every single one of them has their own flair, has their own branding and style that really shows who they are. And this is done by graphic designers, local marketing firms, etc. Look again at the Starbucks locations. Who do you think does their accounting or even their payroll? Certainly not somebody that is headquartered here in Arizona, because it's all done in their headquartered state. It's already taken care of. The checks are mailed. They don't need to worry about any of that. But over here on the right side of the screen here, all of these local coffee shops are creating and sustaining more jobs on that secondary tier because they're hiring their graphic designer for their logo, and they need a local accountant and payroll. This is how you are creating those incredible economic opportunities. Who does the office supplies? So that's the third tier. Office supplies that supply those graphic designers, those accounting firms, those payroll companies. Who does their office supplies? Certainly not somebody that is headquartered here. Maybe Staples, maybe OfficeMax, not sure. Over here on the right-hand side, maybe Whist, one of our wonderful local office supply companies, or OPAX. Whist is a third-generation office supply company, headquartered right here in Tempe, Arizona. Whist employs full-time employees with benefits, so the taxpayer is not taking on that front cost when the deferred spending happens because somebody else needs to pay for the health care of part-time or full-time workers that aren't able to make enough money. Whist also donates a lot of money right back to local nonprofits. In fact, every single year, Whist has donated with their rebate program over $35,000 annually right back into the community. Other office supply companies, haven't really heard of anything. So you start to see that it's not just about people coming into your store, it's about how you're able to support local on the back end. So starting to think about how you can help close that gap and create a stronger economy here in Arizona too. And that's where Local First Arizona can come in and help you with that. We can help collaborate on new opportunities. We can help connect you to what sort of services you need. So this is one of the resources that we try to provide to you. So us as an organization, as I mentioned, in 2003, Kimber got together and launched what is now known as Local First Arizona. And over the years, we have now a membership totaling over 3,000 across the state. So it's over 3,000 locally owned businesses of all sizes. We have 4 statewide offices: Phoenix, Tucson, Cottonwood, and Flagstaff. We have grown to become the largest local business coalition in North America, and that's in total thanks to you. We have an online directory that is searched more than 60,000 times each month. It means that people are looking to do business with local businesses. So make sure, I'll go over it, but make sure that your online directory profile is up to date and as full as possible. We are an advocacy group working on long-term development, economic development. We're not doing these short-term attracting businesses model. That doesn't work. That is short-term solutions. It is a Band-Aid on the issue. We want long-term economic development, and we know by supporting local businesses, we can create stronger economies across our state. We have over 200,000 social media followers, so this is a great network to tap into. Start tagging us in your posts. If you're unsure about what sort of resources, what sort of social media you should use, maybe you're looking to just get the basics or one-on-one, 101 type things, we can help with that. We've got online resources that can help kind of steer you in the right direction. We know plenty of wonderful local businesses with you about how to get online. This is not something that's going away, obviously. And if you do not feel confident in your online expertise or specialty, please do reach out to us. This is the way that you can help leverage your localness and compete a bit against the big guys. We also have an initiative called Fuerza Local. If you are bilingual, if you want to break into the Spanish market, we host mixers with our Spanish business owners. And we also have an accelerator program taught entirely in Spanish to help local businesses succeed. Fuerza Local has been around for a number of years now, and it is growing stronger every day. And we have just expanded to Tucson as well. So in essence, we are here to strengthen local economies. We are representing over 70,000 plus Arizona employees through our 3,000 locally owned businesses. As I mentioned, our online directory is searched over 60,000 times per month. And before we get to this slide right here, I'm going to start going over what your membership benefits hold. So in essence, I want you to start thinking about how you can leverage and utilize the toolkit that we put together for you as local business owners. So the first thing I want to point out is, if you are a current member of Local First Arizona, I want you to go to your directory and I want you to search for your local business. By doing that, I want you to check and see, do I have my About section filled out completely? Do I have, my keywords correct? Do I have everything that I need filled in my directory listing? This whole directory listing, it offers you not just an opportunity to put, your title and just a small little About section. You can also, if you have options, link to your site. We've got following you on social media, so you can connect to your social media right here. We also have the capability of having Video and pictures. This is a great way for people to get to know who you are. The main thing that I can say is that you want your event to reflect who you are, not just what you do, but who you are. Why did you get into business? Talking a little bit about obviously what you do, but people want to get to know who the business owner is. That's how they get to know people in our network. Now, you're not going to recommend somebody just because you met them once. You're going to recommend somebody because you know who they are. You know that you can trust them, and therefore you want to help bring them business. People are looking at you that way too. One of the things that I wanted to point out is that on your directory listing too, you have the opportunity to fill in up to 10 keywords. So thinking about what sort of service or product that you sell, think about the different ways that somebody might go onto Google and search for you. So for example, if you're a bike shop, you should be thinking about how does somebody search for bikes? Do they search for bicycles? Do they search for bike? Do they search for axles or pedals or any sorts of things that you might sell or do bike repair? Think about all of those different aspects, and you can put up to 10 keywords into your directory so then it'll increase your SEO ranking, which is really important. Search engine optimization. It's how close to the top of the list you land when people search for you or your type of business and industry. And then also think about what sort of categories you need to be listed under. We control the categories, but we can help you out by making sure that you have the correct types of categories and that you are listed correctly in our system. So I'm going to go back one page here, and I'm going to show you on our main search area, people can search within a 5-mile radius, 10-mile radius. Make sure that your location is absolutely correct. It's what you want it to be. This is a way for people to be able to find you, and also if they're searching within a radius here, that they can find you more easily. So on Chrono's homepage here, you're going to go to Find Local Businesses, and that will take you to our directory listing. And notice how many different categories we have here. There's a lot of different categories going on. So I encourage you to go in here and make sure that you have everything possible. Make sure you've got great pictures. You want solid, quality pictures that aren't blurry. Something that shows off what you do or the products that you sell. Make sure that your About section is completely filled in. Make sure that your location is correct. Make sure that your website is linked correctly. And make sure that you utilize these keywords and categories. Very, very important on that note. The other new thing about our directory, which is really exciting, is that not only can people search with the radius here, they can search by zip code, as well as the city there, but a whole new thing is these community events. If you host public events, maybe you're a retail shop and you do really cool, like collaborative shopping, events, or you maybe do like presentations or workshops if you're more of a B2B or a service type of industry. This is an opportunity from your member portal. You can submit events that you are hosting. So these are just like a snapshot of what we've got going on. Looks like through the end of April here. So it's a really great way to get found. It's a really great way to expose yourself to more people and for other people to find you. And remember that you are creating jobs as well. So if you're looking to connect with a marketing firm or you're looking to connect with whomever it might be, utilize this directory listing. It's a really great lifeline in order to keep the movement strong. So we've got our directory listing, which helps you get found, essentially. The other thing that I want to point out to you is that, and you may have already attended our event last night, we have mixers going on all throughout the state every single month. Sometimes, we've got more than one going on right here in Metro Phoenix. So we essentially let you know what upcoming events are going on. There's a way that you can search for this through your member hub. You're just going to go to the homepage member hub right there, and it'll pull up a listing of what sorts of networking opportunities there are. It's going to pull up, seminars and webinars. We do quarterly seminars as well as monthly webinars. The networking events are a really great way to get out and build relationships. We make them super easy. We make them fun. We definitely don't want these to be one of those events that you go to, you shuffle out some business cards, you get a shuffle of business cards, and then you leave. And you go, I don't know who I met. I don't even know what it's for. We are all about building relationships and connecting people together. So check it out. Here's the member events right here. So you can scroll through and it's coming up. Even if you click on one of these events, you can also see that they are categorized. So if you only want to see events that are coming up in the Metro Phoenix area, you can absolutely do that. Right down here, so it's posted in the LFA Business Coalition list. I'm going to click on the Metro Phoenix one right here, and it should pop up with a couple of different things going on. So this is a great way for you to track, okay, I've got a few different opportunities here, a lot of different opportunities, in fact. Our next webinar, I would highly recommend. All of our webinars are recorded. This one's free. They're usually about $8, but this one's free, and this is all around the new tax bill. So what essentially does it mean for your business in 2018 and beyond? We're going to have High Rock Accounting, Liz Mason, joining us for this free webinar. So come ready for your questions. This is a great opportunity for you to get to know other people, learn some things, and apply them right into your business. So that's the third way that we are trying to connect you, and this is a membership benefit of yours. These webinars are a great way to connect with people. It's a great way to learn a new skill set or something that you didn't know that you could apply right to your business. We also have our quarterly seminars. These are called Connected, and these are in person. The next one that we have coming up, which I'm going to post about in just a moment, it's all around branding yourself. So if you already feel like you have a brand, but maybe you haven't revisited that brand in a number of years, this is a great way for you to refresh who you are. And also, if you're kind of feeling like you're a little stuck, or maybe you're not sure what your brand is, this is a way for you to really find out how you can create your personal brand and translate that to your business. Because if people can connect with you, if they understand who you are, they can connect with you in a concise and succinct way, you are going to make more customers happen. So this is a wonderful connected event that's going to be coming up in May. About it and sending it out to you via our newsletter. Our newsletter comes to you every second Tuesday of the month, and this is just a quick snapshot of the business newsletter here. It comes right into your inbox. You want to make sure out for this. It has all of the different roundup and opportunities for you to get connected, for you to come out to events, for you to have opportunities. We also have different blogs and things like that that you can check out here. So there's a number of ways for you to utilize and leverage your toolkit as a member of Local First Arizona. Two of the other ways that we want to make sure that you are succeeding and that we're helping by connecting you are through our events. So we actually host a major campaign, summertime campaign, and it's called Independence Week. So Independence Week is essentially a summertime campaign where we have a slew of local businesses that offer something for 20% off. So it's really easy if you have a service or a product, or maybe you want to have anybody, they can take 20% off the bill. It's for one full week at the end of June to the first week of through July 4th. You would just run this promo. We get a lot of airtime, we get a lot of media attention around it. And this is a great way for you to, again, leverage yourself during a hotter time of the year when people are maybe going out of town, maybe they're just not wanting to leave their house much. We see a lot of really successful campaign participants when they really push out this Indie Week opportunity and then participate. So I highly recommend, even if you think that you're not a great fit for it, maybe you have a business service, we really recommend that you at least give it a try, because we have a lot of businesses themselves that use this as an opportunity to, hey, I really want to check out so-and-so for this service, or, I've been meaning to stop in here. This is a great time and a great excuse to do so. So whether you're public facing or whether you're more B2B, this is a great opportunity for you to connect together. So the other one that we have going on is the Arizona Fall Festival. This is every November. It's one day at the beginning of November. And I'm going to see if I can quickly type it in here so then you can get a full understanding of what it is. So the Arizona Fall Festival is a great way for you to get to know the public. So this is a one-day festival right here in downtown Phoenix. It's hosted at Hance Park, and this festival brings out about 20,000 people plus. We have all sorts of types of businesses coming out and talking to the public about their local business. So this is a great way for you to be able to meet those in the community, maybe sell some of your product, get to know people. Again, if you think that you're not the best fit for this, I highly recommend checking it out, because this is a great way for you, even an accounting firm. So we have an accountant that dresses up as a superhero. She takes pictures of kids and talks to the parent about moving their accountant services over to her as a local business. So we see a lot of wonderful new connections right through the Arizona Fall Festival. So I will drop a link to this. We usually open up the spaces. It's just to local businesses that are part of our membership. So you definitely want to make sure that you're current, and watch out for our newsletter. Long about August, we open up and the spaces fill up quick. We have over 200 local businesses. We've got a whole slew of wonderful musicians, a whole beer and wine garden, lots of kids activities. It's a really great time. Because it's April and because it's really important, one of the final things that I want to wrap around with is where you bank and hold your assets matter. So we are all about making sure that from top to bottom, from beginning to end, we are supporting locally that we can for a stronger economy and a better Arizona. So I encourage each and every one of you, if you weren't able to get to the event last night, or if you were, definitely check out our Move Your Money Today page. It's right on our website there, and it is a great way for you to get connected. Find out who your local financial institutions are, because our local financial institutions, despite holding less than a third of all the assets in our state, much less than a third, they are loaning out 60% of all small business loans. And so imagine how much more development, how much more financing, how much more opportunity we can create when more dollars are deposited into our local financial institutions. So we are here to help connect you, depending on the service that you might need or depending on your funding needs. Please reach out to us. This is a great way for you to get to know who your local financiers are. And so with that, I would like to wrap back around and again, just kind of highlight some of the opportunities that we have for each and every one of our members as part of our organization. So I encourage you, if you weren't able to come out to our member mixer last night, make sure that you're receiving our newsletter every second Tuesday, and make sure that you're receiving our emails talking to you, letting you know what's coming up, what's going on at Local First. And one of the newest things that we've got going on, if you're like me and you are super busy and you don't have time to always check your email every single moment of the day, we have a new partnership where you can get updates for it's just the events, updates right to your phone. So if you take out your phone and you just text member Phoenix, member PHX to 27000, that's 27,000, text member PHX 27,000, then you will be tapped into getting events updates right to your phone. And we are not going to be, sending you a bunch of stuff. This is just when the next mixer is, that way you can get signed up very easily and stay in the know as well. And so lastly, I just want to really congratulate you and thank you so much. You are now part of a movement. We have so many different ways and opportunities besides what I just talked about to connect you further. So I encourage you, contact me, Kendall@localfirstaz.com. Give us a phone call, reach out to us. We'd love to connect with you. I hope to see you at the next member mixer. And again, thank you so much and have a wonderful rest of your day. Have a great day, everybody, and we will send you more of an update in just a moment.